You're listening to the Infatuasian podcast. This is Curtis, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you for listening. Today, we're going to be talking about the Chinese drama, Love Between Fairy and Devil. It was a smash hit at the end of 2022, and I've never watched a Chinese drama before, so I was curious, and a few of my friends started watching it, like Nadira. You guys know Nadira. And my other friend, Jess, who is the host of Daebak, K-Rambles. So I messaged them and asked if they wanted to do an episode with me on it, and they agreed. And so I watched it and we recorded this. But it's taken me a while to get to it because I got a little ambitious and recorded a lot of stuff over the summer. And we're just now getting to some of the summer episodes. So this one was recorded way back in June, early June. And so some of their comments were a little bit old. Like, for example, we asked about season 4 of Jess's podcast, which was in the middle of season 4 when we recorded this, but it's since ended. So anyway, so some of our comments are a little bit old, but I hope you enjoy this. I think we had fun. You'll see. I don't want to spoil it, but you'll see they had a little fun picking on me during this episode. So I hope you enjoy this. This was our critique and review of Love Between Fairy and Devil.
但天崩地裂的那一瞬间，当坍塌破碎了睁开双眼，无处安放灵魂，只能降落。若灵魂相接在天地之间，可山盟海誓因一场惊觉，没有你的世界，我无力承受。把惊觉爱的最后。
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Infatuasian podcast. We are doing something different today, something I've never done before. We are talking about a C-drama, a drama out of China. This was actually my first Chinese drama ever in the history of my life. My 52 years of life, never watched a C-drama before. And I'll tell you how the origin of this was there were two influencers in my life. And one of them is my friend Nadira. You guys remember Nadira. She's from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Hey, Nadira, what's up?
Good. How are you, Curtis?
Doing good. And so Nadira jumped into my my Instagram, and she was kind of like, hey, to me and Jennifer. Jennifer is our other partner when we do K-dramas. And she's like, hey, you guys want to watch Love Between Fairy and Devil? And I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. And I started it. So Nadira got the ball rolling, but I do remember another influencer, a mega influencer, as you will. She is out of Florida. It is Jessica. Hey, Jess.
Hey, Curtis. Thank you so much for having me. Excited to be here. I think Nadira and we might roast you a little bit on this episode.
I'm ready for it. Yeah.
Okay.
Because, we'll get to that in a second, but it was Jessica, like, day after day, I was getting hit with reels of like dudes with nice black wigs on and, flowing clothes. And I was like, what is going on, Jess? What are we doing here with this Love Between Fairy and Devil? When was it? That was like late 2022 that you were posting it.
I was posting the thirst traps in late 2022.
Yeah. So if you don't know, it's a smash hit. It's on Netflix, out of China. A quick 36 episodes, yeah, for a C-drama. That's zippy.
Yeah. Yep, pretty quick.
And 45 minutes each. Not too bad. And so it took the world by storm. A lot of people said this is their favorite C-drama ever. And so I had to jump on board. So I watched it. I'll hold my opinion for a second, but I hope you guys out there have seen it. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's definitely worth a watch. I'm not going to dissuade anyone from watching it. But we are talking to Jessica, who is the host of Daebak. You rebranded, I think. I think I saw you.
It's just Daebak K-Rambles.
You kind of unbranded a little bit. But.
I guess it should just be Rambles, like Daebak Rambles, because I have branched out and started doing Chinese drama reviews on the podcast. Not that many, but some enough.
But in your life, you've gone hard on the C-drama.
Well, in my own life, I watch a ton of C-dramas, I feel like. But K-dramas are my first love, and I dedicate the bulk of the podcast and the blog to K-dramas. But if I'm on the off season on Daebak, I am watching a C-drama. So
okay.
that's how we did our Love Between Fairy and Devil episode. That's how it came about.
And you and I have done a couple episodes. So
yeah, you were on the startup episode, which was
Playbook.
Fun. Yeah, and Prison Playbook episode.
And so Turnaround is Fair Play. So Jess is on our show today. And so welcome to the show, everyone. And all right, so let's just check in real quick. Anything new, Nadira? What are you watching?
Well, because of Love Between Fairy and Devil, I actually fell into the C-drama rabbit hole again. I just finished Love Like the Galaxy. I finished Till the End of the Moon. And about 5 days ago, I finished Nothing But You. So it's been a journey. And because they're not quite as zippy as Korean dramas are, it's taking me a long time to do it. But also because they're not as like thickly packed, like each episode, I can actually watch it while I'm working from home.
Okay.
Just put it in the background, just listen to it. My eyes sometimes just slide over to my work computer and then back to my iPad. It's fine. They won't know.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, no, it's something that I think I might explore a little more. So I might do another one. I'm not opposed to doing another C-drama. But it takes a little getting used to. It's kind of like, when you watch Shakespeare, it's like takes a minute to kind of get used to, like, what am I watching? What's going on? Because it's different than K-dramas, for sure.
Yeah, the pacing is different. And, especially with the old historical, you're probably not used to the dubbing. You're probably not used to the long-haired men. And I know some people can't watch the Qing Dynasty one where they have, like, the front part of their hair bald.
Yeah. No, I didn't have a problem with the long-haired men. I'm down with long-haired men.
You're down with the long-haired men?
No, I couldn't take my eyes off it. To be honest, I'm like looking at that. It's like, that's a wig? How does, like they're doing all kinds of stuff. Yeah, no, it's really blue. I wish I had that kind of hair, So I got to get into the Chinese drama wig game a little bit. But yeah, Jess, what about you? What are you watching these days?
So I just wrapped watching You're Beautiful, and I had Jenny from Pocha Playlist on for that episode. It was amazing. And I just finished watching Till the End of the Moon, which I have had such a drama hangover after that show. I feel like I can't move on. It's been days. It's been weeks. I can't move on. So my TikTok algorithm is just like, oh, she wants Till the End of the Moon edits. Okay. So that's all I'm getting. That's literally all I get on TikTok. And then I'm rewatching Full House from 2004, I think.
The Song Hye Kyo
one. Remember with Rain and Song Hye Kyo? Yes.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm rewatching that for the podcast.
Wow, you're going way back.
Oh,
yeah, because when was You Are Beautiful? That was like 2009 or something?
Yeah, 2009 was You're Beautiful.
Okay. All right. So fun stuff, everyone. Go listen to Jess's episodes, and we'll get into this real quick. Let me read a summary. Now, these dramas are a little bit complex, so it's hard to get a good summary. So I know. Yeah, because Nadira will tell you. I would text her in the middle of episodes like, Nadira, I'm so lost. I fell asleep. I fell asleep for 10 minutes. I don't know what's happening now. But all right, let me try to read this, and then we'll introduce the characters, and then I think we'll do the spoiler alert. So we'll do the quick summary, and then we'll give our elevator pitch on it, and then some characters, and then we'll do the spoiler. Okay, so everyone pardon my Mandarin pronunciation. I know these are my people, but I only took one semester, so the struggle is real, guys. The struggle is real. All right, so Dongfang Qingkang. It's kind of a CT. It's like a CT sound. Let's just go with Dongfang.
I think it's a C sound, like a S sound for the C.
It's like a C. It's like a C with a little squiggle.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know how to say that well. So Dongfang Qingkang.
Sang.
The
tongue goes in front of your teeth. Sang.
Man. All right. My Mandarin teacher would not be pleased. Let's just call him Dongfang. The Lord Devil, or the Moon Lord, created chaos in the realm of the gods with his demon army. The goddess of war, Chidi Nudzi, sacrificed her life to seal Dongfang and his battalion. A prophecy predicted that Dongfang will be unsealed, and only goddess Shi Yun will be able to stop him. During Dongfang's awakening, Xiaolonghua unknowingly casts the One Heart Curse. The curse links their experiences, sharing injuries, emotions, and death. Dongfeng protects Xiaolanghua while he searches for a cure, but begins to fall in love with her. Bum, bum, bum. We should say this is a Shanxia drama, which is a whole nother discussion. We can go down that rabbit hole one of these days, but it's basically like good versus evil, sort of. This one blurs the line a little bit. What is good? What is evil? What are we talking about? And you were talking about immortals and gods and fairies and demons. So it's that kind of world. They have amazing powers. They can fly. They can teleport. They can be invisible. They have this kind of, what would you call it? They can shoot little beams out of their hands and stuff.
It's like energy.
Yeah, energy force out of their hands, or hellfire. This thing called glaze fire, which, we're still wondering about that a little bit. And so in this one, we have two main camps. Nadira, are there three main camps in this one?
Oh, who was the third one that you're thinking of?
Goddess Shi Yun's people.
Well, if you want to look at the people, then there is the fairy realm, there is the moon tribe, there is the goddesses realm, and there's also the Hai Shi people.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's kind of like, okay. And they're kind of in between good and evil, right? Hai Shi people are kind of, it's like the bad part of town.
It's almost like the ulterior motive people. Are you still not following that storyline?
Not really. So,
okay, we'll just keep it simple. Heavenly Realm and Moon Tribe.
Yeah, okay. So we have basically Shui Yantian, which is the Heavenly Realm, and then the Kangyan Sea, which is basically the Moon Tribe. So those are the two main ones. But then there's also the mortal world. We dip into the mortal world a little bit where you and I live. And so they're not super aware of all this other stuff going on. Yeah, the mortals. They're just kind of chilling, doing business.
Yeah.
Eating candy.
And I think the general rule is almost in all sea dramas of high fantasy is that you're not supposed to interfere with the mortal realm.
Yeah, but that doesn't always go as planned, but we'll get there. All right. So we have some big stars here. We have Xiaolanghua, literally translated Little Orchid, played by Esther Yu. She's 27. She started out in a girl group. Yeah, I read that she was in like one of those survival shows. And I don't think did the group go anywhere? It didn't go that far, I don't think.
I think it's not really about the group going far as much as maybe there isn't a big idol group culture like there is in Korea. That's that's my understanding of it.
But she's done a bunch of rom-coms or romance stuff. And then Dongfeng is the Moon Lord Supreme by our guy, your guy and my guy, Dylan Wang. He's 24 and Jess, I believe you've seen him in a drama. What drama have you seen him in?
A little drama called Meteor Garden. I don't know if anyone has ever seen that one, actually. It's pretty underrated, I would say. I'm just joking. Yeah, Meteor Garden is the Chinese version of the Boys Over Flowers story, that whole universe that has like 50 versions.
Is that your favorite, though? Is the Meteor Garden your favorite?
Good question. They're all pretty cringe, to some level. I think the 2018 Meteor Garden that Dylan Wang starred in and made him famous is pretty good. It's very long, but they sort of updated it in a sense.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that were cringy, they updated.
I've heard that that's a lot of people's favorites.
It's good. He's Pineapple Head.
Yeah. The hair is on point. And so he is a lot of people's favorite. I think in this drama cemented him as a real favorite for a lot of people. Now, you're shaking your head in agreement, or?
No, I'm in agreement because I watched the Meteor Garden, the one that Jess is talking about. But my favorite is the 2001 one.
See,
and because
a lot of people have their own like little
and it's not
their faves.
It's not that I didn't like him in the remake. He just didn't stand out for me, so that's why I didn't think much of him. And I think maybe that's why I really gravitate towards this Love and Fairy and Devil, because he really is completely a different person, a different actor. He's definitely leveled up.
Yeah, he was solid. Yeah, the acting was very solid. And then we have Changheng, the Lord Changheng, or the God of War, the new God of War, new improved God of War. He's best known for this. He hasn't done a whole lot of. It's played by Zhang Linghe. He's played some other smaller stuff, but this was his big. I think this was his kind of breakout.
This is his breakout role, and I think he's coming out with a new show with Esther Yu. He's starring opposite Esther Yu, and I think he has another show with Bailu, like 2 shows with 2 like mega hit leading ladies. So he's on the up and up. They've really just chosen him from this show.
Yeah, he's tall, and he's got the innocent look to him. Yeah, he's not going to break your heart, right? He's.
Are you actually? I'm counting on it. Okay?
Yeah. Oh, you want bring the pain. You want
yes.
All right. Yeah. You want Ling He to bring the pain. Okay. And then a couple other side characters that are pretty important though is Shanke, the Dragon Guard, is kind of Dong Fang's right hand man, and then we have Dan Yin and Rong Hao. We won't spoil it, but they play some big roles later in this whole storyline. And then Jie Li. She's kind of the hustler. She's the street smart girl. Not a fairy. Yeah, she's just kind of a immortal person that lives in Haishi. She's kind of, but she's technically Orca's best friend. But is she? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And there's a lot of other characters. But yeah, it's strong acting. What can you say about the acting?
Okay, so for Dylan Wang, I think that a lot of people were blown away by his performance, just like a lot of us here, I think, were just surprised because he showed massive improvement from the other dramas that he had done. I think he had just finished up like The Rational Life, which was like a modern day office romance. And then he had done this really, really bad xianxia called Miss the Dragon. I don't know if either of you have seen it. I saw half of it. I couldn't finish it. It was so bad.
Yeah.
His acting was bad. The story was bad. Everything. And people were like talking crap about his acting online, and he took it to heart. And he was like, in some of these interviews that he did for Love Between Fairy and Devil, he was like, I read what you guys had said online, and I wanted to improve on myself, and I really like took it to heart, and I made such an effort to improve. And I was like, oh my God, I feel terrible because like we're these people, right, that are like, wow, that guy really sucked in that drama. But yeah, he did a great job in the show.
Yeah.
And even though he was dubbed, I think the performance really showed and shone through even despite him being dubbed. So that's
I didn't notice the dub until Nadira said it. I was like, wait,
really?
What?
Have you heard Dylan Wang's like actual voice, speaking voice?
Is it squeaky?
It's not squeaky, but it's very boyish. You're like, oh, he's not like a 10,000-year-old like Moon Supreme Lord, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point about his voice. Like, I didn't even realize how different his voice was until I saw the interviews. That I think it's closer to squeaky than I'd like to admit.
Okay.
那会儿我不认识他，然后我有一个好朋友跟他们认识，然后那朋友就叫我去玩，然后就看到了对面就开始跟他的朋友在那儿就那种特别激烈的争吵。
All right, but yeah, solid acting. Yeah, the comedy stuff, he did the comedy stuff well, but he did the drama stuff really well. Yeah, I enjoyed the acting for sure. We'll talk about the plot in a minute, but the acting for sure, very solid. Esther was good too. Like Nadira warned me, she goes, if you can get past her voice in the first 3 episodes, you'll be fine. Because it's a little, I don't know, not grating is annoying. Maybe that's the word.
It's so many people talked about her voice and how they couldn't get into it. They didn't like her character because she just sounded like Minnie Mouse and super annoying to listen to. And how can you watch a show if you don't even like listening to the female lead? So I think once you sort of get over it, or you sort of feel, if you convince yourself, which this is absolutely true, that she will grow as a character and her voice will change over time and become a little more mature, then you can sit there and get through some of these earlier episodes where she sounds like a child.
Yeah.
Yes, I did have to start this 3 times. So when I first started it just came out on Netflix, and I'm like, okay, I just finished Falling Into Your Smile. Let's see what's available. And then I started it, and I heard her voice. I'm like, nah, maybe next time. And then and then I was in the Shadow and Bone community, and someone was saying, oh, the guy outfit is kind of like the Darklings. I was like, okay, it's been a couple of months. Let's try again. nope, couldn't get past the voice again. And then the third time I was like, I'm getting a little bit over Korean drama tropes. I need something different. And then that's when I really stuck it through. And I was like, no, this is actually not bad, especially with the things that happened in the first episode. It just happened so fast for a C-drama to have the plot turn so quickly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it was definitely a choice because later on her voice is different. And so it's definitely a choice that she made to be innocent, a little naive.
我不会是在做梦吧？
从今往后，本座就以这种形态陪在你身边。
是你！你赶快给我变回来，立刻马上！
But yeah, if you can get past, Nat said, get past episode 5 and you're good. I think maybe even earlier, if you can get past like 2 or 3 episodes, I think you can probably do it. You can probably stick with it. Yeah. So, hey, let's go without spoilers. What can you say about this drama? Like an elevator pitch. Give me a 2 or 3 sentence reason why people should watch this drama. Let's start with Jess.
Okay. You're putting me on the spot here. Wow.
You know what?
Okay.
Monster Husband.
Monster Husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that a drama?
No, Monster Husband is a trope. It's like almost like you said, Jess, it's like Taming of the Beast, where, you kind of domesticate this guy from like an evil supreme authority to suddenly, be pretty much her servant.
Yeah.
Let me see. For my elevator pitch, that's a good one. To just say the trope. It would probably be girl meets boy, Freaky Friday, kiss kiss, immortal forces, love.
Yeah. I think you're definitely watching this more for the love story.
Wait, okay. So look, the title of the show is Love Between Fairy and Devil.
Right.
So I guess my question for you, I my elevator pitch sucked, but why did you watch this show if you seem to like not be appreciative of the romance?
Yeah. No, I wanted to like it. Yeah, I wanted the romance to work for me because I like the idea. The idea of I like forbidden love stories. I kind of like stories where people are not supposed to fall in love, but it just happens. Like you can't choose it. It chooses you. Like I like that premise. And, a lot of K-dramas have that, maybe Mr. Sunshine or I don't know, While You're Sleeping. Like there's some romances that I really like where, because this is my first life. Like those kind of ones where they're not meant to be, but they are meant to be. Like nothing is. So I like that idea. And I think honestly what it was, and I was telling Nadira this in our chats, was I didn't totally fall for Esther Yu. Like I think in romances you have to like both sides of the romance and kind of fall for them in a way and want them to get together. And I just kind of wasn't totally like, they didn't sell me on the fact that they should be together, I guess. Like
interesting.
I was shipping Chung Hung a little bit. I was a little bit on Team Chung Hung on this one. Chung Hung, excuse me.
Do you think you will unpack that some more in the spoiler section? Because I'd like to know some more. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah, let's talk about that a little more. So again, I wasn't hating it. I just didn't get sucked in. I just didn't totally get sucked in. I wanted to know how it ended. Like I wanted to finish. I wanted to say, where is this going? So it got me going. I mean, it wasn't a labor to finish it. It wasn't like I was forcing myself to watch it because I really wanted to know what happened. But in the end, I didn't totally get sucked in and get the feels. I mean, it was...
Wow.
I know, right?
Okay. I mean, you basically had a totally different experience than me and Nadira.
Yeah.
Is it possible it was when you were falling asleep? That's when important things happened.
It was afternoon watch, the naps, yeah. Oh man, Jess is shaking. For those people at home, Jess is giving me side eyes, shaking her head. a slow shake to it. It's a slow.
Yeah, it's like slow, like nah.
I'm disappointed. That's what that shake was.
It's like I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. Yeah. All right, Jess,
Because for me, I was like shirking off sleep, like trying to shake it off to watch more versus like I'm in the middle of this episode and I'm just going to get some shut-eye right now.
Yeah, your co-host watched it like in 24 hours or 36 hours.
Carol from the K-Dramatics Club, I think she might be a little crazy because she did watch it within 48 hours or something.
Wow. Yeah, that's
I don't know how she did it. She was like, I worked full-time job too, and I made time to watch it. And I was like, well, hold on. Like
that's
I don't think you slept. Like
that's quick. Yeah.
It's very difficult to do that.
Yeah. It took me a couple weeks, but I didn't like, oh no, I got to watch this drama. I was like, yeah, I'll watch a couple.
Okay. So you didn't hate it. You weren't hate watching.
No, I definitely wasn't hate watching. And I wanted to know how it ended. I liked a lot of the plot points. I just didn't totally love the romance, like just for me.
Oh, it broke me. It took me 4 days, and that's when I messaged you and Jen, because I've also been having like dealing with some emotional stuff personally as well, like with work, with uni, with looking for a place to live. And so when I watched that, and then I was like, withdrawals, I have to find some behind the scene content. And then I saw the behind the scene and how much they both gave into the role. And I had a breakdown for about 10 days. And my husband kept asking, what's wrong with you? Why are you sleeping and crying all the time? You're not PMSing. What is this? So yeah, that's how much it affected me, because it just brought all my feelings to the surface.
Literally, it's escapism, but then you need to keep going back into escapism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's a never ending cycle with these yanshas.
Yeah.
And yeah, I felt the same way. I had a huge drama hangover
with
the show. So
I'm not going to discourage anyone from watching. I think people, if you watch 2 or 3 episodes, you'll know. I think you'll know. If you're not into it after 2 or 3, then maybe it's not for you. But
I mean, I think what discourages some people, and some of the messages that I got after the Love Between Fairy and Devil episode on Daebak was like, I have never watched like a high fantasy shansha before, and I just started episode 1 and I was overwhelmed and I couldn't finish it. And I was like, oh, well then like maybe watch some other, Korean drama that's fantastical or supernatural and sort of get more used to that genre before you get into a shansha. Shansha's like 50 million moving parts.
Yeah.
Things are getting thrown at you and plot twist upon plot twist and slightly different tropes. The wardrobe itself is like a hindrance to a lot of people. If you're not a fan of long-haired, pretty boys, and you're not going to be into shanshas. So many things to sort of digest for
CGI.
For
a lot of
CGI. So much CGI. Yeah.
So if you're not used to that, you're kind of like, what? Like,
you're know like, what am I watching?
Honestly, I think I understand Tale of the Nine-Tailed better after watching this. Like I was kind of at the end of Tale of the Nine-Tailed, like, what is this garbage, right? But then it's kind of it's kind of like that high, high fantasy style of in a K-drama, which you're not totally used to. Yeah. And so it was like, I get it a little more. Yeah. So, so anyway, so I've heard people compare it to Goblin a little bit. Now I loved Goblin. So I'm not anti-romance, Nadira.
Goblin's amazing. I love Goblin.
Nadira's like, you just don't like romance. That's why you like I like romance, Nadira.
I mean, there are parallels to Goblin, like the girl who's, not as powerful as the guy. There's also I'll unpack it some more in the spoiler section.
Okay. All right. Let's get there. So everyone out there, if you haven't watched this drama, you might want to ditch out. We're going to spoil it. We're going to talk about the plot, but if you want to just hear it and judge for yourself whether you want to watch that, stick around. That's fine. I usually play a song. The OST, we didn't talk about the OST yet. That so OST good. Is really good. Yeah.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I love the whole OST is good. Like I normally get annoyed after about like the 3rd time the song pops up in an episode.
They repeat it a lot, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't hate it.
No, I liked it. Should we do the main theme? Is that what we should play right here?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay,
please.
So we'll play. I don't know the name of it, but we'll play the main theme here. By the time the song is over, you better leave or you're gonna get spoiled.
把惊觉爱的最后，这件缠绕的温柔，化作一把锋利剑，刺伤了我。绝爱模糊光阴，只 间都暂停，全都只是因为你确定你是心中唯一，说再见。
All right, let's talk about the main. It's kind of, I tried to break the plot down into like fucking five parts or something like that. I don't know. The main thing is there's kind of this love triangle, right? Where you have, let's just call her Orchid versus Dongfang versus Changhang. And she's had a crush on him for, what, 1,000 years?
Give or take.
Give or take 1,000 years. She had a crush on Lord Changhang. And he secretly had a crush on her.
Right.
He had it hard for her. Yeah, he felt hard for her. And I guess it's just her innocence and her purity, right, that she really liked.
Not to mention he's betrothed already, so
yeah.
He's very noble and virtuous and
betrothed
plays
to
by the rules. So
the goddess Shiyun, who has disappeared coincidentally for 1,000 years.
I don't know where she could possibly be.
Coincidentally, the same amount of time that Orchid is around. So anyway, so they're supposed to be married. So there's that, and then there's this whole future telling tree thing, and if you look into that, you'll see that they're getting married. Dun dun dun.
Yes. What is that tree called? I can't remember. But she is basically the apprentice of the Arbiter, who controls the fate and destiny of all of the immortals and mortals. So pretty cool job.
Yeah, and so she's got a little power. She's not totally useless. She's got some power, some future telling things. And so they dropped that little tidbit on us that they're getting married. They're walking down the aisle together, and you're like, wait a minute, this is not called love between Fairy and Lord Changhang. What's going on? What is going on here? So they dropped that, and you're kind of like, that's what got me. I was like, what? How does this end? I gotta see this. And then another main plot is that Dongfang is kind of the Moon Lord, and he wants to unseal this 100,000 warriors that were frozen by the former god of war Chidi that also disappeared from the immortal world.
Mm-hmm.
But and so she had to sacrifice herself to freeze these troops to save the Shulantan kingdom. And so he wants to unseal these troops to attack them again, the fairy realm. And then there's kind of like this weird subplot of Rong Hao trying to get Chidi back for himself. Like that's his master. The goddess of war was his master, and he has a big crush on her too.
Yeah, he's a big bad, but then by the end, how did you feel about this guy?
Yeah, no, he wasn't good or bad. He was just kind of for himself, I thought.
Right, he was very selfish, but I feel like by the end I was sort of like, well, damn, like at least at least it was a bit of a sad redemptive arc for him because he realized the error of his ways.
Yeah.
And
he done messed up.
He got messed up. And Chidi comes back and she's like, what have you done? Right. He finally gets what he wants and she's back. And it's just really sad to see them together and
Yeah. You didn't like that arc that much, Nadira, did you?
I did not. Like, I rewatched it before we recorded this, and I thought I would care more by the second watch, and I was still I felt like maybe he wasn't written three-dimensionally enough for me. Like, and when I watch it, all I think about is, oh, he just wants this one thing. And it didn't really show much of his layers until much, much later when it was a bit too late for me to care.
Yeah, yeah. And then the ending, so we won't totally talk about the ending yet, but there's this whole prophecy that Goddess Shiyun is going to kill Dongfang. And then at the end, they kind of throw in this other... The enemy behind the enemy is this evil god Tai Shui, who's been he's kind of the main force at the end. That was a little thrown in at the end. At the end they kind of threw him in. Oh, the real enemy is this dude. So it tied it all together, but it's kind of weird. So what do you think of the first part? I think the first part was my favorite, with the love, where they see the love developing between, like you said, what do you call it? Monster husband. Yeah, the first 12 episodes. Yeah, I like those scenes. What do you think of the first 12 eps?
Okay, so I like the misunderstanding because she thinks that he's just some other like demon prisoner versus like the all supreme, like Moon Supreme, the big bad that they've had trapped in this giant cell for I don't know how many thousands of years. So it's really cute to see her treat him lesser and treat him like a regular kind of dude, and him like assert dominance like over her and be like sort of possessive, and she thinks that he likes her and he's just sort of protecting himself because they're linked at this point. I like all that crap. Like that is really fun to watch, really cute, and to see him sort of feel what she's feeling because he's blocked off his feelings for almost his whole life. And it's this whole thing, like it's his journey. It's the start of their journey. I like the origin story stuff. And it's fun. It's just lighter tone in the first 12 episodes.
What did you think about the body swap scenes?
I didn't mind them so much. I think now looking back, I was like, this is like the least of the show was the body swap stuff. But since you have it in the first episode, that's just the hook to get people to keep watching is like, oh, they kiss and they switch bodies. So it's pretty nuts. The Freaky Friday thing, the Secret Garden body swap sort of deal. It's tried and true. It works, but that wasn't the thing of the show.
Okay. What actually hooked me was how they did the body swap. Because normally if you watch any other body swap, there's always the grabbing, oh, is this my body? Like they start holding, touching their own bodies, realizing it's not theirs. Whereas he's like beyond that. He doesn't care if he has like boobs or whatever. It's not what he's about. And I like how it was done tastefully.
There was a little like, hey, don't look at me when I'm naked. There's a little bit of that.
They say some things like that too. Yeah, for sure.
And then, so he kind of hangs out with her for a bunch of episodes. And then, so she gets kind of accused of being a traitor because they're like, yo, you've had this dude in your house the whole time. And so he has to kind of kidnap her back to his realm.
Yes.
And he reestablishes himself as the Moon Lord. And I guess his realm has been civil warring for like 30,000 years because he wasn't around. They were like, oh, I want to be the leader. So he shows up and everyone just drops their swords like, oh, he's back. All right. And then there's more body switching going on at his place. But then
we get some cool stuff that like he rebuilds the Arbiter's house for her. And it's like obviously we know they're just reusing the same set, but it's the thought that counts. You get it. He's done this thing so that she feels more at home. And then he's like, but you can never leave. And you're like, that turned quick. That was a left turn.
And you know how he had the same exact amount of flowers at the Arbiter's hall? That was really sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and you start to realize that he's not pure evil. He's just very loyal to the Moon Tribe, right? Like,
yeah, it's bad blood feuding for I don't know how many thousands of years.
Yeah.
It's, you kind of, what I like about the show is that during those middle episodes after she gets taken to the Moon Tribe is that you start to understand better the Moon Tribe.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, they're just like us. They're no different than the heavenly realm. They're not any better or any worse. They're actually quite misunderstood by the heavenly realm. She thinks, she was saying stuff about him that when she thought that he was this other persona, she was like, doesn't he eat like live animals and doesn't he do all this and doesn't he never take a shower? And it's like all of these crazy rumors about him and the Moon Tribe. And when she gets there, it's all proven wrong, which is really nice to see sort of these prejudices dissipate for her.
Right. So then we get into this weird kind of plot. Now, this is where I got confused. So this is where I was texting Nadira. I was kind of like, I fell asleep and then all of a sudden they're in the mortal world and they have to get Lady Chidi's tribulation out of the way. And then Chang-Hung's tribulation. I didn't understand what a tribulation was, and I think I get it. You guys want to explain it to me just one more time? So I guess if you commit something bad in your world or something, you have to earn your way back.
Okay, so there's various reasons. I forget that this is your first xianxia, so I was like, what do you mean you don't know what a tribulation is? So long story short, every time an immortal, whether they're a demon or a fairy or a heavenly person, they can either get punished and sent to the mortal realm for a trial, which means you're going to live life and it might be pretty shitty. It's going to not be all butterflies. You'll have good times and bad times. And
but it seems like you don't always know that you're there, though, right?
No, they have no memory of that they're actually immortals. So their memory gets wiped. They are born in the human realm, and then they live their lives. And it could be a punishment, or it could just be part of their like cultivation for them to get to the next level of enlightenment, or just to cultivate their immortal selves and gain more energy, what have you, powers. They have a human trial. Okay. And again, it's basically the most dramatic life you could ever think of. They die, and then it's like the kick that brings them back to themselves, like an Inception. Yeah. And then they just like wake up and they're like, oh, wow, now I remember this whole life that I had before the trial. Now I'm all messed up from the trial, and I have to figure it out how I'm going to go about my life now. Do I just ignore what happened to me in the human realm, or do I work through it?
It was okay, but I felt like it was a little bit of a detour.
No, it just depends on the drama. Sometimes the human realm stuff is super juicy and you're like, these are the best episodes. In this case, I felt the same way, that the human trial episodes were a little bit of a drag. They were a little slower. They kind of took the momentum out of the plot, and it was just a little break before all hell breaks loose at the end of the show. Right. But yeah, there's some other shows. There might be some other shanchas that are like, that was the best era, was when they were on Earth and having a ball.
But you did see a little bromance start. You see a little bromance between Chang'an and Dongfang.
Did you like the bromance? Like, I feel like some people really did enjoy that bromance between DFQC and Changheng.
Yeah. It's a little out of character later on.
Really? I liked it, but I don't think it was deep enough for them to suddenly be confidant after they've moved on from the mortal realm. I feel like a lot of things were edited out.
Huh. To get it to 36.
Yeah.
Huh. So in any case, they get back. Well, and we realize in the mortal world that she's not just a little orchid. She is Shiyun, the goddess Shiyun.
Yeah, she had these cool powers where her blood was sort of restorative and healing and would bring things back to life. And she just didn't think anything of it until she used the power to save DFQC after the mortal realm trial.
Yeah, so she's actually really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I do like that moment because she saves him in the mortal realm right at the end before they get catapulted back into the immortal
doesn't
realm.
Totally understand it, but he gets it. He's kind of like,
he knows exactly who she is.
Yeah, he's like, oh, dang. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then that kind of leads to this final battle where God Tai Shui kind of manipulates Rong Hao as well as Dongfeng to kind of use his power to get what they want, to bring back the people they want. But then ultimately, Tai Shui gets inside of Dongfeng's body, and then goddess Shiyun has to be the one to destroy him, and it's just...
Hold up, you're skipping an important thing. Did you fall asleep again at this point? So that's when the goddess, when she had to kill herself to resurrect 100,000.
She killed herself.
That was
and then she comes
heartbreaking scene, and you skipped that.
Wait, so what was the reason she had to kill herself? She had to kill herself because
she wanted the QFC to
DFQC. Yeah. It's hard.
Yes, DFQC. She wanted DFQC to resurrect his soldiers so he has a chance of winning against the fairy realm. And this is right after he was treating her badly because he wanted to remove the orchid bone from her wrist. And that particular bracelet in her wrist, it kept getting tighter and tighter because she loved him. And he was trying to reverse that. I feel like I'm missing some points as well.
So there was at some point, there was some evil energy or something that got into the bracelet, and it was killing her.
Let's start from the beginning. Let's start from the beginning about the bracelet.
Because he gave her this early in the show.
Early in the show to protect her.
Yes. So in the first 5 episodes, he gave her this orchid bone bracelet made from the heart, the blood of his heart, in order to protect her. And when he first put it on her, it was very loose. But the point is, it's supposed to protect her so he doesn't get hurt because they're linked together. And as the time goes on, this orchid bracelet keeps getting tighter and tighter on her because the way that it works is that the more she feels for him, the tighter it gets. And Jilly put some sort of evil spirit in it, and therefore it sucks the life out of Orchid. And the bracelet now can't be taken off.
Yeah.
Did I cover everything?
But I forget.
Your face is killing me. You're just like, okay, like it's still confusions.
I'm still trying to figure out, like, why did she have to kill herself again? How does it relate to the 100,000 troops?
Because that evil spirit in her bracelet has Chidi's essence in it. And Chidi's essence needs to be destroyed in order to break the curse that Chidi put on the 100,000 soldiers.
Okay. And so...
so the little piece of the former god of war...
was in that bracelet.
Was in that bracelet.
Okay.
And they needed to kill it, destroy it, so that, her essence would no longer protect that
and then
enchantment that was over the 100,000
Rung Hao
soldiers.
didn't want her to do that. So he was trying to stop her from doing that.
Yeah, because
But Dongfeng's brother wanted her to kill herself?
Yeah, they wanted their 100,000 people because they built that up too.
Yeah.
Going through the effects of having 100,000 people frozen in time.
So Dongfeng's brother was like, okay, we got to kill her to release the troops.
Yeah.
And then Rung Hao's like, no, don't release the troops because I want Chidi alive. Yeah, it got complicated.
Yeah, and also because it took a while to figure out how to kill her, because if they kill her, they would kill the Moon Lord.
And if you use that certain sword...
that Chidi used.
Yeah, then Moon Lord won't die.
Right,
okay.
so she sacrificed herself.
Yeah, okay. No, I remember the scene. I just forgot why the scene had...
Okay, it seemed like the scene had no effect on you whatsoever. I was crying in my bed at 2 a.m.
Oh my God, same.
Because that was like very emotional.
It was very emotional. It was very. I just forgot why she had to do. I got confused on why she had to do it.
The scene was so beautiful. Like she was like,
it was.
Yeah, like he was like dragging through the sand, trying to get to her in a sandstorm, and she found the sword and she stabbed it in, and then she looked behind her and she saw, oh, he's not hurt. This is not impacting him like it usually does, and she stabbed it deeper.
Okay, question for you though. So normally he just like zip zaps and teleports everywhere. Why, when he's stuck in the sand, why does he have to walk in the sand? Why can't he just teleport?
I was under the impression that his power kept weakening because his emotional tree regrew.
So he can't teleport?
That was something that was sort of implied throughout the show, was that because he was feeling more and his emotions tree was growing back due to her influence, that his... what was it? Hellfire? His hellfire was diminishing.
Yeah,
he couldn't wield it anymore.
Okay. But guess what, guys? A little piece of her is still around.
So, this is like a thing in Shansha.
Yeah.
No one's dead.
No,
really.
I mean, you are immortal, right? So your primordial soul, as long as a little piece.
There is always, as long as there's just...
a sliver
of you left, or like a piece of clothing, or somebody got a cool memory of you. Like you could just come back in some way, shape, or form. So I just want to like tell you right off the bat, this is not like unique to Love Between Fairy and Devil. Okay.
I get it. So they replant her.
Yeah, they plant her.
Literally, they literally put her in some soil in a pot. and Dongfeng becomes the caretaker of the orchid. And
and he's feeding her morning dew and giving her lots of sunshine and
this
love.
Could be 10,000 years. We don't know.
He's like a millennial during pandemic. He was just looking after a plant. He was a plant daddy for a bit.
He's a plant daddy.
Yeah,
he's into houseplants. So he gets her back, and she pops out. But now
you didn't cry during this part, did you?
I did not.
Did you cry at all?
No. But
oh my lord. Okay.
So she pops out, but now she's basically fully goddess Shiyun.
Yeah.
That we know about, right? That she's no longer Orchid. She's got no memory of all this. And so she's like, who are you? Why are you following me? Go away. And then he becomes her servant.
Role reversal.
So he's just like, whatever you want, let me know. I'm here. And she's like, well, I want you to go away. That's what I want.
Did you remember how he was the one that taught her how to be him and how to treat people coldly and distantly, and now she's applying it here?
Now that's true. Though she is the goddess of grace and compassion, right? So
She's beauty and
She's kind of
she's
nice.
grace.
Yes. Okay. So anyway, they kind of hang out, and then this is when the betrothal comes back, and Chung Hung's like, by the way, you're going to marry me. And she's like, yeah, let's do it. So that's going to happen. And meanwhile, like, she's just kind of treating Dong Feng like garbage, right?
Coldly, because she doesn't remember him. She's not
Supposedly,
Orchid anymore. She
yeah.
keeps saying, like, Orchid's gone.
Yeah. Now that scene I did like. Okay, so when she finally reveals,
That's the scene you like?
when she does the smile thing on his face.
You actually like that? Okay. I mean, I didn't hate it, but I thought it was like the cheesiest thing out of all their interactions.
Cheesy, yeah.
Oh, gosh. That's what you like. Out of all of these emotional touch points throughout the show, when she did the little smile on him and he was like, it's her.
I kind of liked it. Yeah, I kind of like that part because
Damn.
I'm not alone. There's people out there. You like that part too, right? Yeah. So I'm not alone. I can't be alone, right?
I mean, I like
It's a beautiful part. I'm not going to knock the shot, but like, out of all of these really great juicy moments between them, you're like, okay, so at the end of the show, when she does this, the one thing that's a callback.
So right before she marries Chung Hung, though, then Tai Shui like reveals himself. So technically, they never got married, right?
No.
They were like halfway through the ceremony.
They're halfway through,
basically.
but right before the final thing, Tai Shui shows up, and then this battle happens.
Should we say that the Moon Lord actually went to Tai Sui to prevent him from getting stronger and bigger?
So he sacrificed himself and kind of locked him in his little emotional island.
Yeah.
I mean, he used what sliver of her there was in his heart to try and kill this being.
Yeah, because the tree was blessed now. So, yeah.
Yeah, so he tried to use some of her essence to kill him, and it sort of backfired when the demon, like, got in his head.
Yeah, and so Goddess Shiyun now has to be the one to kill him, who's possessed by Tai Shui. But guess what? He's not dead. Apparently,
do you not
there
see
was
the parallel with Goblin at this point?
Apparently, there's a sliver of him left. Yeah, there's a sliver of him left in a pendant. And he comes. What do you think of that? Are you okay with that? The last 5 seconds where he's like, "I'm back."
I am. I don't think you realize the alternative, which is they just don't get back together. It's like the ending is she gets the pendant and then cut to black.
Yeah. So, no, you knew he had to come back.
He had to come back.
Did you notice that the pendant that she was keeping it in the hall was below the flower crown she was going to wear at the wedding?
Yeah, I did notice that. Yeah. I just thought it was kind of rushed at the end. It was just kind of like, oh, I'm back.
That's a major complaint people have.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But, and then someone else, I forgot who said it on another podcast, was that technically, right, because he's always had Orchid soul within him in his emotional tree. So he can always assume that during his dream sequence where he was having a really bad time after Orchid's death, that she has that same memory of them sharing 500 years together. So that's kind of like, oh, here's a little piece of...
Wait, say that again? What?
So he had that dream sequence, right? After Orchid
He
died.
traps themselves in his, like, in a primordial dream or whatever.
Yes.
So that he can experience a good life with
Orchid.
her.
But we also know that within him, there is some essence of Orchid because she reawakened his emotional tree, right? So a lot of people's headcanon seem to be she remembers those memories as well.
Get out of town.
What do you think of this theory? What do you think?
I don't subscribe to that.
Okay.
I would love to, but I don't subscribe to that.
I like the idea of it, but it just seems a bit,
Yeah, that's a stretch. I think that's a stretch.
And I was texting Nadira. I was like, he's literally doing her brows right now. Why is he doing her brows? I was so confused.
Oh my gosh. So in historicals, that's a very intimate thing for husbands to do, is to just
I was telling Curtis,
draw
like,
on the brows.
My husband helps me even at my foundation sometimes. Like, do you not do that for Vivian?
I don't.
Vivian's gonna listen to this and be like,
she's gonna say,
he doesn't do my eyebrows.
I am missing. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm failing so bad as a husband. Yeah. But yeah, so it was fun. It was fun. I didn't get sucked in like you guys, but I would not recommend. I would not recommend it to someone.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Yeah. So,
but there were no swoony moments for you.
Nah, I didn't get hit in the feels. Except for the one scene. Except for the
V.
Freaking out.
The smile scene. Yeah. But I liked it. I didn't love it. Jess, out of a scale of 10, what would you give it, Jess?
I gave it like a 10 out of 10. Come on. This is on my Mount Rushmore of C-dramas. Yeah, really? I love Shunshes. And this one was really good. It was the drama of the year last year in 2022. And it's the one to beat. It got a lot of people into Shunshes, I feel like. They just watched this one and they were very enticed by the world of Shunshes and they kept going and they watched more C-dramas. So I think it's a gateway show.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think if you like this one, you would recommend. What was the one you just watched? To the Moon.
Lord, it's Till the End of the Moon.
Till the End.
And that one is an angsty enemies to lovers, like a true enemies to lovers story. So if you want to get wrecked, toe up from the flow up, watch Till the End of the Moon. It's really good, amazing show. But it's not the same at all. I feel like between. If you compare them, I'm sure there's similarities, but it's totally different vibe.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right, Nadira, scale of 1 to 10.
I'd like to disclaim that I've never given a drama a 10. Rationally, I'd like to give this show 7.5, but emotionally, I'm giving it a 9.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. I'm somewhere on that lower end. Maybe a 6 or 7 for me. But worth a watch. You know, I didn't hate it. I'm doing an episode on it. What would
have made it like a higher mark for you?
If I fell for the female lead, I think would have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
the story was fun. I mean, the production value really, really high. Like you said, the wigs, the costumes. Oh my gosh.
Like his costuming as the Moon Supreme was amazing.
Yeah,
beautiful.
The costuming was great. Yeah, everything was...
The headpieces and things that he was wearing.
OST was the hair. Yeah, the female hair is amazing. The male hair is amazing, but the female hair, Jay Lee and, all of Esther's hair, the whole show, amazing. And the look of it, the soundtrack, the plot was complicated but fun. I didn't get sucked in. It's not terrible.
I really wish they had included, because I read this where they wanted to make a love line between Danny and Shunfang, the brother. And they had some photos. And I'm really upset that didn't work out because he was so against Orchid and his brother pairing up, right? So I thought it would be really fun for someone like him to end up with a fairy.
Yeah, because he's so grumpy.
I think they've greenlit a show that is the Arbiter's love story. The Arbiter was, at the end of the show, she was on some floating celestial planet. It's because she was banished for falling in love with someone she shouldn't have. Uh-huh. So that story is getting a spinoff.
Huh. And she's Nadira saying she's really famous. Like she
is, yeah.
I was getting Una vibes out of her, Una M vibes out of her. She kind of has that look. Like
oh my God, yeah, you're right.
Bit, right?
The smile, yeah.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah. All right. So I think that, what could I say? I like what I like. I didn't hate it. Maybe it's because you think this is a good one to start. This is a good gateway for people.
I don't think so.
I personally don't think so, but it seems to be working.
It's worked for some people.
It's just that I think if you had watched other high fantasy C-dramas, you would appreciate this even more because of how, again, it subverts some of the tropes.
Yeah. And the way that they grow, the way the characters grow and their arcs and stuff, it's really juicy, really good stuff. They start out so imbalanced, right? And then they end up being on equal footing, mutual respect, and
I know you don't like Orchid's character or Esther Yu, but compared to most other high fantasy dramas, I think her development here is very obvious, and it's not fluctuating. It's obvious that she started as this naive, sheltered girl alone in Simming Hall, missing her master, and then she kind of developed as this goddess and the juxtaposition is there. Whereas in other ones, a lot of them a lot of them seem to develop well into stronger characters, and then at the end they had to be a damsel in distress again, or something along those lines, or memory loss or something.
No, I liked her arc. I liked her, her acting is great. I think she's great. It's just I didn't ship them. Yeah, I didn't totally say, oh, these two are getting me. But, it happens.
Okay.
I'd like to know Jess's top 3 swoon-worthy moments.
Oh.
Top 3 swoon-worthy moments? Oh my gosh. So I think anytime he just took care of her was swoon-worthy. Whether he, disliked her at the beginning of the show or later when he was taking care of her and when she was growing back, it's all really cute. Anytime he saves her, like that sort of stuff that he says is really problematic in real life. But in the context of the show, I'm like eating it up where he's like, who dares to touch my woman and like all this stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that says about me, but I'm eating into it, feeding into it. He takes the 51 bolts of lightning for her. That's all like, it's fan service, okay? It's basically like the shower scene in a K-drama where he like rips off the shirt, which I don't know why they made that blouse that he was wearing a tearaway, but okay, I'm just going with it. So things like that are really swoon-worthy for me. The kiss when they swap bodies in front of Chang-hung.
That was my top scene.
Oh my God.
Everyone keeps saying the feminism left my body.
Yes, I felt it. I felt it like leave the building.
Because he didn't have to do that second kiss. Like they kissed, their body swapped back, and then he kissed her again just to make a point. He
went in deeper. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, man.
But I think it's okay because she was safe. Like he wasn't about to like demolish her. He was just carrying on what she did in the first place. And afterwards, once Chang-hung left and Rong Hao, she pushed him, and he was like, "Oh, sorry, I guess."
Yeah, he like snaps out of it.
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh," and then they have like a little back and forth, a banter, and she's like, "How could you do that?" and storms off, and he kind of like is left feeling some type of way, and I just love that. It's good.
Yeah, they have really good chemistry.
Yeah, no, I thought they had good acting chemistry. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, either you get sucked in or you don't, I guess. All right, guys. So everyone out there, have you watched this drama? Did you swoon? So we have 2 out of 3 swooners here, and then I'm in it for the drama. I'm in it to watch it. The production value is super high. The acting's really good. The OST is amazing. So give it a try. If you don't like it at first, I think you won't like it. But
that's not true. I watched it 3 times for it to work.
That's true. Yeah. So your experience may be different, right? So if you don't like it, maybe come back. Maybe you gave up on it, and Nadira says, "Don't give up on it. Come back." Maybe. Do I need to watch it again? I don't know.
Give it a break. Try again in 6 months.
Give it a break. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a break. But I may come back. Because there's a lot I didn't understand, but now I understand it better. So I hope this episode was helpful to you if you're like me, a little confused with the whole xiaxia genre as well as this drama in particular. You can write to us at infatuasianpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you're thinking. You can write to Jess over at Daebak K-Rambles. It is Daebak Pod on Instagram, TikTok. Where else are you on? Are you on Twitter?
I'm on Twitter. If you want to message me on Twitter, I'll get it. I promise.
Yeah, but yeah,
I'm just not that active on there.
Follow Jess. You'll see a post that she's getting some big numbers on her reels, and I made a stupid little comment on one of her reels, and I've gotten like over 2,000 likes.
So I don't know what is happening on the reels front. I don't know what they did to the algorithm, but yeah,
it loves you. The algorithm loves you, Jess.
But the comment that you made was really funny.
But it's so stupid.
I thought it was funny. Yeah. But again, you don't think that like 1,000 people are going to like it. Yeah.
I need context. What's the post about?
Oh, it's Lee Min-ho.
It's Lee Min-ho in Airs. in the K-drama Airs. And it's this really stupid scene where he reacts in a kind of bizarre, robotic way to a major drama that's playing out in front of him. It's like episode 1 of the show. And I just sort of narrate it and I make fun of him. And then people got a hold of it and
it's like
Curtis made a comment and it was like an aside.
I just said iced coffee's $9 in California, right? Like something really stupid. And then I get notifications every day, Jess. I'm like, 2,500 people liked your comment. I'm like, 2,500. I don't even know. I've never met 2,000 people in my life. So it's just kind of tricky.
I think you hit the right Gen Z humor there.
I think maybe, yeah. But yeah, so the reels are blowing up. So go check out Jess. You got more season 4, or are we still going?
I think we're about halfway through season 4. Okay. We have so much more to go.
So much more to go. Yes. And you're doing a lot of old ones, like classic OG dramas.
I am, because the young people in the K-drama community have said repeatedly that they don't watch pre-2015 shows. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, what?
They need to know.
What did you say? So I'd taken it upon myself to just sort of give those older shows some love and throw it back a few times on the show. I think about every other episode is an older K-drama pre-2015. Yeah. And that's where I sort of came in, like was 2012, 2011.
Yeah.
So it doesn't seem like it's that long ago to me. Yeah. But rewatching has been a blast, and shining some light on some of these older K-dramas has been a real treat.
All right. So give Jess a follow. If you listen to her podcast, you won't be disappointed. Lots of different hosts every week. And Nadira, thanks for joining us again. Always a pleasure.
Likewise.
All right, everyone out there, thank you for listening. You can follow us at The Infatuasian Podcast on Instagram or Facebook. And you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. And please give us a rating. What do you say, Jess? Don't be petty. 5 stars only. Don't be petty.
Don't be petty. 5 stars. Come on. Who's out here giving 2-star, 3-star reviews? Who are you? Stop.
You know who they are? I think a student dropped me. I looked at my spot, and I was like down a decimal or so. And I was like, wait, what just happened? I think a disgruntled student came by and said, you know what, I'm going to get my revenge on Mr. Chen. I'm going to drop a 2-star rating or something. So anyway,
rude.
So help me out, people. Help me out. Give me some 5s to bring the average back up. But
respect your teachers.
Either that or they just don't like my pod. Who knows?
It could be genuine.
It could be genuine. No. But anyway, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Nadira. Everyone out there, thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
微风吹拂倦了的面孔，夜色朦胧，独自遥望星空。
突然之间想得太多，12点还差几分钟，睡意消失得无影踪。没关系，夜晚别唉声叹气，太阳升起会使晴空万里无语。深呼吸，银河系无边无际，心情之间如此遥不可及。
我想